It's something that has been really bugging me
What?
the whole week.
What?
Is people suck dick. No, seriously, wait. I'm getting to it. Okay. I know people who have sucked dick, eaten
Ass.
eaten ass and everything.
Yeah.
But they refuse to eat a banana because it's disgusting, and I don't
What?
get that. Yeah. How do you find bananas disgusting?
Wait. Who?
I have encountered multiple people in my duration that I've been in Nairobi
Yeah.
who don't like bananas. Like, they are repulsed by it. They will do anything not to eat a banana. And it's blowing my mind.
Jesus.
And it's led me to question how many people don't like bananas, which turns out to be more when I ask people in the UK and like all my friends in the UK, and it's blowing my mind. Because like, you don't tell me you suck dick or you eat ass and then you say you don't like bananas, because those are the two grossest things you can like, put your mouth on. Like, do you like bananas?
I'm neutral towards them. Sometimes I don't. I like them.
Is it after you've sucked dick?
No, it's because I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Okay.
It's not that I feel grossed out by it. I don't know.
Yeah, but that was just eating me alive. I didn't realize so many people hated bananas. I didn't know there's a war against bananas now. Fuck. It's just
How did you come? How did you initially find out?
well, like, so basically, okay, a friend had come over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Friend is going to remain nameless
Mm-hmm.
because she sucks dick.
What? Okay.
And my mom gives her a banana.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm not going to have it. And she's like, Murtaza, can you have it? I was like, why? And she's like, I just can't have bananas. Like, they're so gross. And my sister chimes in from somewhere like, yeah, bananas are gross, right? I was like, wait, how many people hate bananas? What the hell is going on? How do you people not like bananas?
I don't know.
And like, I love bananas.
Mhm.
You know? I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love bananas.
Yeah.
So I ate all three of them. But then the more people, like, for some reason I went through this period where I just kept encountering bananas with other people.
Yeah.
Like, we went to the mosque and like they gave bananas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like none of the kids would want them. And like none of the adults would want them as well. And I was like, Jesus Christ, what's up with this whole banana thing? Like, no one wants a banana. No one wants. It was the most pointless thing that has got me angry. The most pointless thing is me judging people for not liking a fruit. It's a fruit, right?
It is a fruit.
Where did I read that it's a melon? If I'm not wrong. Okay, hold on.
No, just use that.
Open this up. Okay, you can do the introduction while I fact check.
Welcome back to the WAG podcast. This is episode 8, and not possibly, but definitely
But
our
possibly.
What?
I don't know.
Definitely our last podcast in Nairobi for another 4 months, maybe. I don't know. Are you coming back in like after finals?
No idea.
Okay. So, yeah. Possibly for the near future. This is our last podcast in Nairobi. Yeah. This week I feel like this week we should, talk more about pop culture since we've been kind of avoiding that. Did you find anything?
No. Hold on. Oh wait, hold on.
I highly doubt.
I think it's a type of berry if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but berry, it's a berry.
It's not a fucking...
But it's still...
it's not a melon.
Yeah, but a melon is a type of berry.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wow, this is some...
We're teaching you guys. Hold on. I read it here. Yeah, melon is a kind of a berry, right? There we go. And yeah, banana is a berry. Learn something new every day.
You do.
Yeah. You'll put a raspberry in your mouth. You'll put a blueberry in your mouth, but you won't put a goddamn banana in your mouth. Huh? That's the weirdest call out I've ever done. But let's talk about pop culture.
The two biggest stories in pop culture were two Netflix stories.
Yeah.
I know we said we fucked them.
We disowned them.
We disowned them, but we had to watch these two. One was Bandersnatch, and the other one was Bird Box. What was your opinion on?
Okay, wait.
I want to say, what was your opinion? I want to start with Bird Box. What was your opinion on Bird Box?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was a good film, but I don't think it's. I feel like people are portraying it to be outstanding, which I don't think it is.
I fucking hated it.
Yeah, I didn't. I just thought it was a good film. Like I thought it was okay to good, but I
honestly hated this shit.
There was a point, when. Okay, spoilers. Let's just put spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. We're going to be spoiling Bandersnatch and
Bird Box.
So if you haven't watched either of them,
then
just forward to the part where we stop talking about these.
Yeah, which is the end, idiot. Yeah, it's there. You see a spike. Like there's just people who leave here and then they never. Yeah. There was a point in that movie I was really bored.
Which part was it?
After how everyone died.
Yeah.
And they were like chilling there, like the two, Tom and
Mallory.
Mallory, right? They're just chilling there, and I was like, Jesus Christ! My whole family was just sitting there, we're like, this is so boring. It was so. I don't even know. It was just okay. Like, it was one time watch. It was good enough. Like,
fuck, I hated that.
The
shit
ending.
So much.
Eventually, it kind of, I guess, got fast paced towards the end.
Yeah.
But
they had to rush that shit, man, towards the end, because Jesus Christ, stop. Stop. Close it.
It'll always be there in your search history.
I can delete that.
I'll always know it was there in your search history.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I tell you why, because first of all, they had annoying ass characters. There's
my God.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Everyone
everyone in that movie was annoying as fuck.
And the best thing I like? The one person that they made blatantly annoying was the only one who was actually talking common sense.
Yeah.
Purely survival.
No, that's like all the memes, right?
Yeah.
It's like everyone's just they're like, oh, the reason this guy fucking died was because everyone was an idiot around him. But generally though, everyone was fucking annoying. First of all, in the start of the movie, when they enter the house, first you only see those two, and then all of a sudden there's like 10 people, and you're like, wait, where the fuck did these 10 people come from? They're just 10 people. We don't know anything about them. Like this is it bothered me so much. So we had annoying ass characters. So when they died, we didn't give a shit about why they died and how they died.
They didn't build on anything.
Yeah. They could have done so much. When the fucking Olympia chick died, I was like, thank fucking God, man. This chick is so fucking stupid. Like, good riddance. Okay, when the old woman died, I was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, who cares?
Why do I give a shit about this?
Can I tell you, that old woman was one of the most invisible characters. She would show up and I was like, oh wait, yeah, there's this one as well. Like, oh my God. And I was like, how is she not dead yet? Like, she should be the first people to die. Because like, no one remembers her. Even when, I don't know who the guy with glasses was. Charlie, when he died, like, they tried a lot, like, he has a novel or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care, man. He's dead. Like,
he's dead. Like,
everyone
they were so far. Like, even if they had a backstory, they were so annoying, you just couldn't give a shit. I was so mad. I was like, you know what? Screw this.
Yeah, and I feel like they brought in, like, too many characters.
If they had like 3-4, if they had like 3-4 characters, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, you flesh them out properly, then maybe 1 or 2 die along the way.
Yeah, so
it's
they're like
heartfelt, yeah. But this shit was just like everyone died in one instant, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, and one thing that really annoyed me, and I don't actually remember if this had any consequences, so just remind me if they do. But like, they put this whole thing, we're going shopping, we're going to get all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then they get everything, and then Machine Gun Kelly and whatever, they just steal
They
it.
just steal
And
half
there's
the
nothing
shit and
happen. Nothing literally happens. Like, they just run away, and we're like, oh, okay, so they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, that led to nothing.
To
These
nothing.
two were just...
They could have literally skipped that whole scene.
Yeah.
They could have just skipped everything and nothing would have happened.
Yeah, like-
there was no consequence after that where they were like, oh, now we're short on food.
Yeah.
We have to go fucking shopping again. Nothing. They just took that and they were like,
left.
that's it.
They're
gone.
gone.
They're
Have
gone.
fun.
They did nothing with a car. Nothing. It was so annoying.
It was just, there was so much pointless stuff. Like,
There's so much pointless
it
shit.
was like, what makes a good film is a tight script. You know, every
Yeah.
scene is relevant.
Yeah.
But this was just...
It was all over the place.
Even the first guy who died, like when he was strapped to that chair and
Yeah.
he was dying, I was like, they tried. Even then, they like put in these sentences to try and make me care. Like, you know, the old guy was like, "Oh, you and your husband were a good guy and everything."
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what does that even do? I don't care, man. I know he's going to die. I know this is the classic scenario where like you have a bunch of people and then eventually they all get thinned out, and I was just like, so. I was forcing myself to push it through, and then that one guy came, and I was like, this guy's gonna kill everyone.
But then, you know, the thing is, like, the worst part is, in the start of the movie, we only see those three go into the boat. And then, when you see all those people enter the house, you already know all of them
Yeah.
are going to die. Like, if there was no spoiler in the start that, oh, there's only going to be 3 people for the rest of the journey, then there's a surprise element when all of them die, or when one of them dies. Or like if maybe if they had everyone die, okay, and now it's Tom, Mallory, and the 2 kids, okay, and then Tom
Yeah.
dies. That's like you know, a surprising thing. You're like, holy shit, that was sad.
Everything in that movie,
But it's all fucking predicted.
it's all
now.
predictable. Yeah, even like when Tom was the only guy left, I thought he was dead. Like when initially that crazy guy walked into the house, made everyone see, I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And then he survived, and I was like, as soon as, you know, in the next scene when they're like 5 years later and there's the car drifting around, I was like, yep, that's how he's gonna die. That's how Tom is gonna get rid. I was like, why? This is like everything I know about. And you're right. Like the first scene where it just show 3, like,
Yeah.
and then it's
Going on a journey, blah blah blah.
it's just, I don't know how long it is, but it's like a 40-minute sequence of just trying to kill people off. And I was
Yeah.
like, what interesting?
Yeah.
There's nothing interesting in that.
No, there's one more thing that I wanted to say. That like really pissed me off. They could have done so much, like with the actual monster itself.
Yeah.
But the fact that we didn't even know what the fuck it was is so weird. And also the guys like who saw everything but weren't like suicidal. How?
Yeah, they didn't explain
How
any of
or
that.
why?
Yeah.
Like that could have been such a cool like plot line for the entire thing. That could have like raised the stakes a little bit or something like that. Like, you know, if you have some like
Yeah.
evil intention in the start or whatever, then it doesn't take over you, right? Or something like that. And then they could have done something cool with that. Like maybe one of the guys, they're in the house, the guys are in the house, and then when the dude comes and shows everyone the light and all that shit, yeah, then what happens? That one person doesn't turn suicidal, but in fact he turns like into one of them,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh shit, this guy, that was his intention the whole time. That would have made it really fucking cool, but because we don't know how they turn into they're just there for the reason of being there. So
I think they try to explain it by like when the guy walks in and he's like, oh, I came from the mental hospital and everything.
yeah, but
But
like when you see those guys drifting around, you don't see them being fucking mentally deranged or anything. I guess it's the whatever they made it them see clearly or whatever that shit was,
Yeah, but not
still.
every mental illness is like that. Like, because he said like they, you know, like they want you to see, right? And there are crazy people who have this like perception of the world, right? And like now they want you to see how they see it, but not everything is like that. Are people with OCD, like chronic OCD, also affected by this the
Yeah,
same way?
yeah.
There were so many. They tried to do so much, and that left so many plot holes along the way.
Yeah.
It was just it was. Now that you've got me ranting about it, I would like to say it's okay. I'm still not gonna say it's bad because whatever.
That shit, it annoyed me because I was like, you know, I went in with almost no expectations. I thought it would be average, Yeah, because people they had mixed opinions about it on the internet, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go in with very few expectations because I don't know what they're gonna show. And from like in the middle, I was just like, okay, this is just painful to watch.
I would like to. I would still stick with okay because I felt like there were some moments like if you, when I was I let me try to find a way to phrase this. I feel there were still some very interesting moments that carried that film from like because like when that guy walked in and like he killed everyone, like that was a good moment.
Yeah.
When she went to find supplies and the girl won resolve.
Yeah.
That was like interesting. Tom dying, as much as it was predictable, it was also a nice sequence.
Yeah.
Because he like I guess the one unexpected bit was he opened his eyes and then he killed everyone.
Yeah.
So I still feel there was enough to carry that movie along, but there were just at some point like it was slow. One massive sequence where it's just all action and it's all dramatic.
Yeah.
And then just slow. So I would still say.
And also the thing is, at the end when, like the girl takes off her blindfold.
Yeah.
And she even opens her eyes.
Does she?
I don't know if she.
No,
does.
she doesn't. She
doesn't. Okay.
She's about to open her eyes and then like. I don't remember. I think like she hears Mallory's voice clearly.
Okay.
And she's like, "No, don't open it." And then they come.
Well, okay, then I probably forgot. But yeah. And then that's basically it. The movie was terrible. If you haven't watched it, fucking don't watch it. Maybe if you want, just watch it. If you enjoy, I don't know.
If you just want to sit and watch something and you're not going to overthink it.
Yeah.
Okay, not overthink it, because if you're just going to not think about the film, as like
if you just want to sit and just watch something where you can just tune your mind off and like just watch it mindlessly, then watch it.
You know what really irritated me was like people like who were watching it, but like I guess like they looked like so like it was
so interesting.
Yeah, like
and
they were like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, and they're like putting it on Instagram or whatever. Like friends of mine, and they're just like looking at like it's the most outstanding piece of film. And I was like, is that because like everyone else is hyping it up, so you're trying to like pretend like you understand that hype?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. The people who are like recording their reactions of like them being like shocked and shit like that, you're just like, okay.
Don't lie to yourself.
Okay. Even if you didn't expect it. No. There is no way you didn't expect it. Come on. Every death was predicted.
Like, how did Tom die? I thought he was going to be on the boat, hidden underneath. Why, Tom? Why? The first.
I guess it's like for them it was like more shocking that he took off his blindfolds. Like you said.
Yeah.
That was the shocking part. He's gonna die, but how is he gonna die? And that was like a brutal way, fucking suicide and shit.
Yeah. And I guess there was a nice moment where like he was taken over by that thing, but he still managed to shoot that one guy.
That one guy.
Yeah.
Also, why the fuck did they cast Machine Gun Kelly? I feel like they used all their fucking casting budget on casting Sandra Bullock, Emily Blunt, even though she was there for like 10 minutes, and then.
Wait, Emily Blunt wasn't.
The sister.
That's not Emily Blunt.
Bro, that
is an Emily Blunt. That is an Emily Blunt. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is an Emily Blunt. That isn't her.
Okay, fine. So they used all our casting budget on Sandra Bullock and the bald guy, whatever his name is. And then they didn't have any money, and they're like, shit. Who the fuck do we cast as a tall white dude? Machine Gun Kelly.
I think he took up that role just for that, like just because he knew there was a sex scene. He's like, yep, that's what I'm. Even that sex scene was so pointless.
Yeah, it was so pointless.
Like, don't put a sex scene just for the sake of it. Like, if it adds something to the movie, well, but like we're not like that thirsty that we just need a sex scene in every.
The sex scene was like an establishing shot that they're together now.
Even that, like, she goes from hating him. She goes from like hating him to straight up having sex, and I was like, what the fuck? What is going on? And I was like, when did that transition happen?
When the Asian guy killed himself.
Oh, I completely missed it.
He started crying and shit, and he's like, oh, come with me.
What a typical guy move. Let me be your support.
Oh shit! And now that I think of it, fucking no, that guy, he was creepy as fuck, yo.
What guy?
Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Was creepy as fuck.
He was one of those like weird dudes who's like capitalizing on, you know,
Yeah.
her seeing death.
Yeah.
He's like,
At
let's.
the most vulnerable moment.
Yeah.
Oh well. Enough ranting about this.
What a dumb. Okay, I still say, I don't know. I'm debating whether to still say it's okay.
When you think about it at a technical standpoint, I don't know how, like, I guess I've been watching way too many film critics on YouTube, but now I kind of understand like a little bit of technical shit in movies. But when you talk about the technical shit in this movie, it doesn't make sense.
Also, something that really bugs me is about the monsters. Like, they don't show us, but they also don't show what the monsters are capable of.
Yeah.
It's really weird because, like, I thought, like, they just, like, turn, like, because, like, the way Charlie was explaining,
The fear.
they, like, when you, like, because they're invisible, when you see them, they're, like, in the form of your worst fear, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they could speak, and I was like, oh, wait, I didn't know they could do that. Like,
Wait, whoa. Oh, when they're giving, like,
and I was
sound.
like, can they take other people's voices? How does that work? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, what are these monsters capable of? What
Yeah.
can they do?
Yeah.
Turns out,
I saw this one comparison where they were comparing A Quiet Place to this one, and they were like, A Quiet Place is bad because you ruin the element of surprise that who these monsters are.
but you know what the monsters are capable
Yeah.
of. You understand
Yeah.
the monsters. You understand why it's difficult, how they can survive. You know, but
this shit is just like, okay, you can't see. That's it. But then now, you're not supposed to hear because apparently they can even imitate voices.
yeah, they can manipulate you to remove your blindfold. And I was like, what?
what the
We didn't
fuck?
ever know that until like towards the end when they started like,
Yeah.
uh,
Like, how does that work?
yeah, like we didn't see that throughout the entire movie.
Except at the end.
And then-
when it was convenient.
Yeah, when
to
it-
add some tension.
Yeah, when it was convenient enough, when they were like, okay, how do we get Mallory? Like, how do we add stakes to Mallory removing her blindfold? Because she had everything figured out, right?
Yeah.
She had like the whole fishing rope thing or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they're like, there were no other people who would make her take it off. So they're like, what do we do? Oh, let's just give them voices because we can. And at least A Quiet Place established what the monsters' weaknesses were, what the strengths were, how
What they relied on.
how they can navigate through the monsters and everything. But this was just confusing.
Yeah. I agree.
I feel like it's an insult to. I'm not good. Quiet Place has some moments where you're like, why are they doing this? They don't need to.
Yeah.
But it's, if you think about it as a film, it's also very solid. The way it carries itself out, you know.
Yeah.
It's
It's consistent.
yeah, it's so consistent and like there's no moment it feels like a drag. And because they didn't reveal at the end that John Krasinski wouldn't be there, like they show the end scene where Emily Blunt is like, you know, cocking the shotgun and everything, and then they skip to the front and we're like, oh yeah, John Krasinski's going to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh shit.
Don't-
Spoilers for A Quiet Place as well.
I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, whatever. If you haven't watched the movie, go.
We
watch
don't
the
care.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now talk about Bandersnatch. I feel like this is something that we can both talk on a lot because we've played like interactive games as well.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the best interactive story you've ever played?
Like overall. In every,
Yeah, in all forms of entertainment.
no.
No.
Yeah. And the
Where
reason.
does this rank? Does it rank in the higher or in the lower?
Okay, so it ranks very high. I was very impressed by it. But the reason I say it doesn't rank as the highest or like compared to all is because video games and everything, they have so much more story and so
Yeah.
much more depth.
Yeah.
That-
This is like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, it was.
For an hour and a half long, it was pretty
Yeah.
solid.
And like, yeah, so there's so much depth to all of that that it can't be beat unless Bandersnatch also had that much depth.
Mm-hmm.
But I also understand the limitations between, you know, like the difference between a movie and a video game.
Yeah.
But-
Movie, you have to keep
Yeah.
those characters within character for months and months and
Yeah.
months, whereas a game is just like, you can just put something over them and it's done.
Yeah, and like video games is pretty common and, you know, everyone does it. Doing it in a movie format is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
But I thought this was refreshing. I thought it was so much fun. I thought it was good.
Which was your favorite ending?
Oh, when he chopped off the head, definitely.
What the fuck? You know which one was mine?
Yeah.
It's the one that's the most fucking hilarious ending ever. When you tell him that you're Netflix and you're
Oh,
controlling
yeah.
him, and then he goes to the psychiatrist, and she's like, "Oh, why would you choose the most boring ending? Wouldn't
Yeah.
you choose an ending with more fun?" And then you get an action yes and fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So I said fuck yeah, and then they start fighting. Dude, that was so funny. I was like, this is how did this turn from that to that?
Yeah. Charles Brooker, the person who writes this, I hold him in very high respect.
Dude, like okay, from a technical standpoint, everything was pretty solid.
It was
Like, there were some storylines where you were just like, holy fuck, this is insane. To okay, that's expectable, and then you're just like, Jesus Christ,
yeah.
that just it took a turn from what you were expecting. Like the part where you fucking kill your dad.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't expecting him to do that shit, where he just fucking slammed him, and then you either bury his body or you fucking keep his head. And then this guy keeps his head in his room. Like what? Shit.
The one thing that really annoyed me about this was the fact that if you click the option, you still have to sit through that whole like timer bar.
No, it's not as bad as in games.
I feel like there's some games
Because
which are
in games, that whole part gets really awkward. It gets really because you're just at that point you're just looking at cutscenes between the two fucking characters in a game. Whereas in this one, while the timer was going on, there was either a dialogue going on at the back or
yeah,
there
like
was something
there
that
was a
was being
filler,
fulfilled, right? So that when you click the thing and the timer runs out, it integrates smoothly. Whereas in a game, there's like a cut, and then your choice happens, which that
Excuse me.
that kind of annoyed me.
Okay, no,
I was like, I'm in a game that kind of annoys me because I've said this multiple times. When like a shot is filmed as seamlessly as possible, I'm a fan of that. So if there's less awkward cuts where it just jumps from one thing to another, then all good.
But you see, the thing is, if you play Telltale games, which are purely choice-based,
Yeah.
there's not that, like, once you pick a choice, it kind of moves on. Like,
Yeah.
So,
Like once you pick a choice, there's no timer.
it just moves.
it
It just moves on.
Yeah.
And, like, that, like, allows, like, this seamless integration. Like, you have that length, you have that time to make a choice. But once you know the choice you're making, it, like, moves on.
Yeah.
So you're not just sitting there waiting, And even Telltale games, like, sometimes they have this, like, someone saying, "Oh, you make this choice. We have to do something if you
Yeah.
take too long."
Yeah.
Which I guess I also liked about Bandersnatch, that they had the filler. When you're with Colin, he's like, "It's all your choice. You can do whatever you want throughout that whole thing." But
I mean, at that point, though, I don't know if you did both of them,
what
but
I
it
did,
wasn't your choice.
yeah, I did everything.
If you chose yes, you take it. If you chose no, he'll make you take it.
I did every ending,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Like, as much as short as it is, I understand why it's short.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure they want this replayability that you can go through the start and finish it, like do a completely different ending.
Yeah.
And because they kept it short, they kept it sweet. So I won't complain that there isn't, like, it isn't as in depth as
a game. Yeah.
And the thing is that in a movie format, you also have to add so much more, like so many more scenes, so many, like other characters if you're going to take it in another direction, and it just increases production so much more.
Yeah.
In a video game, as you saw in Bandersnatch, it's just another programming another path.
Yeah. Which doesn't increase that much
Yeah,
production cost or whatever.
yeah. I guess it increases in man hours.
Yeah.
But I guess
That's fine.
yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
The one concept I loved in Bandersnatch was the fact that the ability, like how they constantly talked about you having free will or not, and it worked.
But you technically don't.
Oh yeah,
free will.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is like they worked it through all the levels. Like it was like first it started off with the the book, and then the video game, and then the movie, and then it ended up with us as well, because like when we wanted to destroy the computer, we were told no, that's not a choice. You go back.
Yeah.
And you still have.
Sometimes you're just given either one option or So you're given two options where you don't want to do either, like either destroy your computer or you fucking shout at your dad. You're like, but I don't want to do either of these things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what is this?
And I was like, I want to shout at, like, I don't want to shout at my dad because I know that's going to lead to a dark ending.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Just destroy the computer, right?
But that's
and then like,
and you're just like, what the fuck?
And they're like, nope, you can't do that. Go back and shout at your dad. And I was like, I love that. I love that toying with your mind. That
it was also very self-aware.
yeah, it was very, and
It was very meta.
yeah, and I love the fact that after, like, you know, he's arrested and everything, like he got his dad's head off, and then it moves on to the Netflix guy, the Netflix chick.
Yeah, the chick.
She's making it, and she's going through that same thing, and I was like,
it's kind of like they have a lot of themes mixed into it, but it kind of works where it's like a very meta kind of thing, but then at the same time they explain it as something being supernatural.
Yeah.
Where if you do something about the book and all that, the fact that it's just a book that drives you crazy, or that story about Bandersnatch drives you crazy because apparently the Pax demon is gonna fucking like infest your brain or some shit like that. I honestly enjoyed it a lot, and I also like the ending where he found out that he was part of a fucking study that by his dad and shit like that.
Yeah,
that one was a really good one, and I was like, what? This took a completely different turn, like something I was not expecting.
yeah.
It's generally a good one.
One of the endings I also really liked was when he couldn't find his study, and then like his mom took a later train. So in one of the
you corrected.
Yeah, you corrected, and you still crash.
Yeah. Train,
the train still crashes. Like you go with your mom.
And then you die, but then you jump to the part where you're with your your therapist, and you're dead there. The thing I liked about this, you're constantly reminded that no matter what you do, it'll always be corrected later on.
Yeah.
So he went and corrected it at the past, but then he died, and because he died in that alternate timeline, because apparently that was a thing that they were doing within the show, he also died in the current timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know which one was the current timeline because there's so many fucking timelines, but yeah, and also I got a sense of like false security in some of them, because when Colin was like, when he takes you to jump off thing, and he's like, oh, it doesn't matter what you do because there's an alternate timeline and all that shit, and I was like, oh, I'll just fucking jump down I'll just jump down and nothing will happen to me because there's an alternate timeline. I have another timeline that I can fuck up and all that shit. So I just jumped and it was the ending, and I was like, oh, what? But that did matter then.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. It was a very, very well thought out. And like I saw the mind map of the thing that Charles, and as simple as it looks on the surface, because it's like, oh, it leads. One is just purely you killing your dad, and then like your video game coming out. One is you going with Colin and all those endings. It's so complicated to think of each of the endings. And what I got from that was we're constantly in the what if, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like that's this constant awareness that the simple decisions we make leads to one whole timeline, and the other leads to a whole timeline is what drives us insane. Like when you obviously asked me to do the podcast, because I would never ask you because I'm the star. When you asked me, they're like, I have two choices, right? The same way,
yes,
and then yes and no. And yes leads to a completely different timeline, and no could have led to someone else sitting in this seat doing it and me listening to it. But I'm just saying it's a possibility, and I was like, maybe that's what they're kind of like. That's eventually what drives us insane, is like us constantly pondering about what could have been. So Honey has a friend, and they watched it together, and she had this very interesting perspective where she said she didn't like it because when she watches something, she wants to submit to it. She doesn't want to decide.
Oh, she doesn't want to decide.
And I thought that was a very interesting perspective.
It breaks the immersion, I guess.
She doesn't want to decide what happens. She just wants them to tell her what to see, what to believe,
Right.
Yeah. And I thought that was interesting, and it kind of makes sense. Like, it's not.
There are obviously going to be some people who just want to watch something so that they have nothing to decide for. Like, it's just free will.
Yeah, they're sitting there and they're just taking what they're given.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice. But yeah, I thought it was very refreshing. Do you think it's going to last? Do you think like because
they're going to make another one?
No, not even like just Black Mirror making it, but just
like an interactive story.
Like it's people saw Bandersnatch was successful and they're just gonna experiment. Like
if anything, I'd want a Westworld one.
Oh, Westworld would be really nice.
Yeah.
I feel like any show where
it's like sci-fi.
Yeah, and not even that. It's like because even like Westworld deals with the theme. Yeah, you know, with the themes of free will and like what we're allowed and the programming and how
it could actually work perfectly.
Yeah, and like that's what I mean. Like I feel like all of those shows it would work really well with. I don't think it would work well with a comedy show though. No. I think that's
No, because comedy just. As much as people say comedy is easy to do, comedy is probably one of the hardest things.
Yeah, and I feel like because
you need to time everything.
Yeah, properly. It has to be on delivery, and you can't have that with an interactive thing. Like you're like, which joke should I say? Your mama joke or a racist joke? And you're like, everyone's just picking the racist one. Who doesn't love racism? Wow, that was. I mean, you shouldn't love racism seriously. On a serious note, another thing I really liked about Bandersnatch. I hope I'm speaking clearly. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
I really hope I am. Because, I have, mucus in my throat and everything.
Nah, it's fine.
But yeah, so one thing I liked was at the start, they gave you this, like, two options, right? The cereal and then the music.
Yeah.
And I was like, initially I thought this was just one of the things. They get you used to it. They give you, like, simple choices, like a tutorial in a video game.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it makes sense,
No, but even those choices affect what
and I was like, at that point, he already knew that he's not making these choices, and I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Because he's like, everything is decided for me, and I was like, that's just insane.
Yeah.
Like even those tiny choices eventually came back in the future, and I just thought it was brilliantly written.
That's what I'm saying. It was very it was self-aware to the point where. Sometimes when something is self-aware, you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like, when it's so badly done, you're just like, stop.
Yeah.
It's stop breaking.
Yeah. It's cringy.
Yeah, it's not only cringy, it's just badly done.
Yeah.
Like, at random times, you'll just hear a self-aware joke or something that references something like that, like a fourth wall, and you're just like, why? Where did this come from? But this one was done so well in the sense that because we know what we're doing, we know what they're feeling as well. You were just like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like why you would break the fourth wall now instead of whenever you want to. Like the whole Netflix thing where he was just like he was being controlled by Netflix. I thought that was really cool because it was absurd. It was so fucking weird, but then at the same time I was just like, you know what, that makes sense. Like this is fucking Black Mirror. Black Mirror has done weirder shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I think this works also just because it's a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things were kind of themed according to that. There's a lot of also like callbacks to previous episodes, like actual episodes in the seasons. That like the logo of the branching thing was it was in the episode called White Bear. You know where the woman who killed her.
Yeah, and they're like...
And then they brainwash her, and then they put her through the whole scenario.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
about.
All
those masks they're wearing, they have the
that was also a very dark episode.
That was a fucked up episode,
yeah.
I swear to God. I was just like, yo, this poor girl.
Yeah, and
then at the end, you're just like, holy shit. You get so invested.
Yeah,
you feel so bad and everything.
You were rooting for her. You're like, I wish you make it through this. I wish, everything. And then you're like, all right, I was just supporting someone who killed a child. Yeah, awkward.
Oh shit! I like when they do that. And then they had like a few other. You know the metalhead thing, the fucking whatever that robot thing was.
Mm-hmm.
It was in one of the season 4 episodes.
Oh, okay.
It was like a metal dog thing. Yeah, there was very many callbacks to the actual seasons.
So our overall review is Bandersnatch, very good.
Very good. Watch it, interact with it. I mean, if that is your thing, if you enjoy interactive stories, then go for it.
Yeah.
But Bird Box, fuck that shit.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna do the okay signal. You know, like
Yeah, he's waving his hand,
Yeah.
like hovering it.
hovering it. Yeah. I
I honestly, I thought it was annoying as fuck. And you know, so yesterday, based on someone's recommendation, uh, I watched Insatiable on Netflix. It's the one.
is it the one with Debbie Ryan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The whole controversial it was like a whole controversy because apparently it was like they had a lot of fat shaming and shit like that.
Mhm.
Dude, that show is god awful. I watched 2 episodes of it. I don't know how I stayed through those 2 episodes. I swear to God, there is fucking like these. It's about girls who are in high school. This girl who's in high school, and she goes through massive weight loss because she got assaulted and someone broke her jaw, so she was on a liquid diet.
Yeah.
So she lost a lot of fucking weight. And now she's suddenly become hot and everything. And she doesn't realize that she's become really attractive. Yeah, so she's still a very desperate girl in terms of like sex and all that shit.
That's such a weird story.
It's so weird. It's so creepy as well. You know, there's like hints of pedophilia in it. There's
like hints of pedophilia.
like very like not because no actually not pedophilia but the opposite, genitrophilia, where a young one is attracted to someone who's older.
Mhm.
And that shit is creepy. Like the Debbie Ryan character, because she doesn't realize that she's become very attractive all of a sudden. I mean, everyone tells her that she's become very attractive because now she's like the talk of the school and all that shit, and like she gets whatever she wants. Because of that, she doesn't realize that, you know, she's become attractive or hot or whatever, and she gets into all these fucking insane scenarios where she needs this lawyer, and she wants to bang the lawyer. And the lawyer has like a wife and kids and all that, and she also has a crush on the lawyer's son, but the lawyer's son is like fucking some not aunt, but like some family friend or family enemy, some shit like that.
It's fine.
It's so complicated. The characters are so bad. They're so annoying. You know Bird Box?
Yeah.
Fucking worse than Bird Box characters. All of them have southern accents. Look, if you want to make a movie or a TV show, okay, that's set in the South, don't give them thick ass southern accents, because you can't understand some of the words that they're saying, right? The accent it's like a Birmingham accent or a Newcastle accent. You wouldn't put those guys in a full-fledged TV show or a movie, because first of all, it's hard to understand them.
Okay.
The accent is just terrible. Like, yeah, don't even set it in Georgia, fucking Georgia. It's in Georgia. Georgia isn't even that south, man. They shouldn't even have those hard-ass accents. But they do. Fuck that show. Do not watch it. But I still have to watch it.
Why do you still have?
Because I want to finish it. It's so bad. But
I feel like you have a secret agenda to finishing it.
I have a secret agenda.
Okay.
But
I guess an agenda is already secret.
no.
Is it?
No. Agendas can be out in the open.
Okay. Yeah. So you do have a secret.
I have a secret agenda.
Yeah.
But don't watch that shit.
I won't. I never once in my life have I come across a moment where I was like, oh wait, I'll watch Insatiable. I saw it and I was like, nope.
Just in case you're tempted, or just in case someone tempts you into watching it, just show them the shit.
I don't like Debbie Ryan as like an actress. Like I didn't enjoy her. Like when I used to watch Disney Channel, like she had that show, and I was like, I didn't like her. I don't know, but she was a babysitter or something, man.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah. From there, I was like, I don't like her as an actress. I don't think she can act at all.
Yeah.
And I was like,
everyone is just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
My God.
One movie that I would recommend on Netflix is Andhadhun, which is a Hindi movie.
It is. My parents watched it. They didn't like it.
We watched it and I liked it a lot. I feel like that thing has so many twists, honest to God. But I feel like every twist that happens is understandable because of human nature. Like that's how humans are.
Yeah.
And you can see all of that happening in real life. But yeah, I would recommend that movie as well.
Yeah, if you're into Bollywood movies, that's a recommend. Speaking of Netflix and Bird Box, we need to talk about fucking idiots doing the Bird Box.
Yeah,
challenge.
stop. Oh my God.
Or any challenge.
Can I tell you something?
Where they put their life in danger.
Yeah, can I tell you something? So I was just thinking about this. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about challenges today, right?
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite YouTube channels, Achievement Hunter or Rooster Teeth, right? They did the Bird Box challenge, and I was like, no, come on, no, why? And obviously there's this like very, I'm pretty sure like they had people all around, making sure they don't get hurt and everything. But that's still, like what I think is when YouTubers do that, the first thought that some kids have is like, fuck, I want to do it as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it as well. And like, you're not going to have the same protection as them because these guys go out like into the parking lot with cars and everything, and they try to navigate.
Crew
and they like put obstacles in the way that I have to navigate. Don't do the Bird Box challenge. That's so stupid.
Don't do any challenge that will put your life in danger.
Yeah, like why?
Any fucking challenge.
Why?
That In my feelings challenge where people were dancing out of the car.
Yeah, that's such a dumb one.
That's retarded. That's a retarded ass challenge. Like, why would you do that?
And I was like, there was this one video, where the guy like came out and he just fell over and like the car door hit him or whatever. And I was like, serves you right. Why would I ever have sympathy for you? Like, did you not think that through? Did you not think that was a possibility? Like, don't be stupid. Even if the car is slow, like, you're still gonna get hurt, and there's still a possibility of you getting.
Challenges are the worst fucking thing.
Yeah, there was a Sprite and banana challenge, right? Where you
what?
The Sprite and banana challenge, where you like drink Sprite and eat a banana and then you vomit.
Wait, is that a thing?
Okay, hold on. Let's do some research. I swear to God, it is.
Wait, do people actually throw up though?
I don't know. I don't do it. Why is your laptop so weird? But even the cinnamon challenge was. I guess the cinnamon challenge wasn't as bad.
The cinnamon challenge is bad, dude.
I mean,
because for that period of time, you can't breathe. Because the cinnamon coats your fucking insides, makes your shit very dry. And when your throat is dry, you can't breathe.
Yeah, banana and Sprite challenge where people would vomit.
Okay, fuck that.
Yeah, and I was like, why would you make yourself vomit for internet popular? Oh wow, it's so stupid. Why do people come up with you? And I love how Netflix was just like the first thing they wrote is like, I
can't believe I have to say this, but don't fucking try blindfold and walk around.
Yeah, it's where and like, not even like why. Why would you see someone doing it and think like, fuck, I want
to do it as well? Don't you have like enough? That's the thing, man. That's the thing. The thing is that even adults do it. So it's not like you blame the kids and they're like, oh, it's just the kids. They're all
but stupidity isn't limited to kids, man.
But
adults are more stupid.
But like when the adults do it, that gives more incentive for more kids to do it.
That's true. If you want to do a challenge, I guess do challenges like the ice bucket challenge.
The ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, that helps, There's the wasabi challenge.
These are just terrible, man.
I like how we searched it and it says 37 fun challenges to do with your friends at home.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, go fucking do...
Okay, the ice bucket challenge is fine.
Do a raw onion. Jesus Christ.
This is just so stupid.
The challenge is not for the faint of heart. Raw onion.
Eat the most wasabi? Wow. Hot pepper challenge, warhead challenge.
Warheads are fine. Because it's like sour.
Yeah.
Lemon and lime is fine.
chubby bunny challenge is okay.
Yeah.
I like how we're like we approve of these challenges.
We approve of these challenges.
Yeah, these challenges
you
you
can do
can
anything else, man.
but people
Come on. Don't do the ice bath challenge,
even
bro.
planking was dangerous, man. The way people were planking, like
Listen, if you want a plank, do it in your house.
yeah, do it on the
your
floor,
bed, on
or
your
the
floor.
Yeah,
Like,
plank.
come on.
Whose respect are you trying to gain
By planking in the middle of the road?
Yeah, or like planking on like those buildings at the top of.
Oh yeah.
Like whose?
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
And then they videotape their perspective as well, so that they can show how fucking badass they are.
And you see that it's the same thing with like last week when we were talking about the Supreme Brick.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I see you on the building planking, never in a million years
You belong to the low IQ group.
Yeah, never in a million years am I going to be like, damn, I wish I was that guy. Man, that guy can do me raw tonight.
Yeah.
No, I would never ever do that. Like that's just so stupid. It's so dumb.
Wait, what is this? No mirror? Oh, makeup.
You
challenge.
just put it on.
Fuck
yeah.
that.
Evan, I feel like one that isn't really dangerous, but it's kind of just weird. Is like, guess the body part challenge. You know where it's like.
Oh yeah.
It was just like I don't wanna like. I don't want to touch parts.
That's something you do with your girlfriend when you're trying to role play, dude.
Still, I feel like that's so weird. Like taking a finger and you're like putting on it. Like that's so weird.
It is very weird. And then they were like showing it on YouTube videos. Like, no, we don't want to see that shit.
Yeah.
You keep that private, man.
Yeah, people. Challenges are so stupid. The Bird Box challenge is the stupidest challenge ever. Like,
why would you go out of your way to blindfold yourself, go out in the public, and then walk on the streets or walk in a park or do something blindfolded?
do you think blind people are insulted that we're doing this?
But the thing is with blind people, they're used to their eyesight being deprived, so they have mastered the way things work.
No, but I mean that's fine. I'm just saying, do you think they're insulted by us
No.
doing these challenges?
Oh yeah, they're 100% insulted. Well, I don't think they give a fuck. They're like, oh yeah, more or less stupid people.
Yeah, that's natural selection at its finest.
Yeah, but I don't think blind people give a shit.
Yeah.
They can't even see.
Wow. Do you think they're actually like, I'm really glad I can't see this.
Yeah.
I don't have to see the stupidity.
Yeah.
They don't have to see Logan Paul. Like,
fucking showing a body in the suicide forest.
Yeah. The way the world's going, who is the person who like intentionally blinded themselves because they identified as blind?
What?
Yeah, they like burned out their like corneas or something because they like I identify as blind.
How do you identify as blind? It's not a sexuality.
Or I don't think it's a choice either. Like, is it?
It's not a choice as well.
I don't know, man. This is I don't want to offend anyone on this.
Yo, fuck that. Offend. Who are you gonna offend? The guy who fucking burnt his eye out? Yeah, he needs to be offended. Because if you do some dumbass shit like that, we're gonna talk shit about you.
Or that person that tattooed their eyes and went blind. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, do you know the trend where people are tattooing their eyes? So like
the white stuff, they turn it black?
Yeah. They tattoo on it or they turn it red. And I was like, why? Don't be...
How?
I don't know. I don't know why people do the things...
Isn't fucking tattoo ink harmful?
Listen, I don't understand why people do the things they do. I don't understand. I don't look into it. I see it and I'm like, I'm not even going to give this stupid person the attention that they want. So I just move on with my life.
Jesus Christ.
Like, the last thing I need is like me paying attention, like wasting brain cells on this person who apparently has none. Yeah. So.
Oh,
okay.
Man. Like, yeah. Challenges are a horrible thing to do.
Yeah, don't do like wholesome challenges. Like, there's a recent challenge where like the Japanese are doing the 4 generations challenge, where like the daughter, like the youngest child, and then like the mother, and it's a really sweet, like they all like pop out from like there's a wall, and they all like pop out one by one, and it's so adorable and it's so sweet. Yeah, I was like, do that challenge, like. Yeah, that makes me smile.
Don't do the don't judge me challenge where you show yourself. Did you see that one?
No.
Oh, okay. So there's this whole. It was like 2-3 years ago, dude. This was so toxic.
Yeah.
It's the most toxic thing ever. Where fucking attractive ass people, they're like really, really attractive. They would wear makeup and make them look really ugly. So they would like put like unibrows.
Oh no, my ugliness has been revealed. No.
Yeah, they would put on unibrows, like pimples all over their face. They would make their skin tone basically you.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm already offended by it. I'm already so mad. Like,
And then-
ugliness is something we have to live with. You get to be attractive, and you choose. What was the? Okay, hold on. Finish. What was the point of the challenge?
And then they put like a spot
Yeah.
of like cream on their finger,
Mhm.
and then they rub it, and then they do this, and then they do this, like they close they cover their face,
Yeah.
and then they uncover their face, and they're fucking beautiful. And you're just like,
So is that whole challenge just to show that you're beautiful? Is that all?
no, the point of the challenge is don't judge a book by its cover. Someone can be beautiful.
But there are
But-
people who are ugly as well. Like, I'm not saying that as an insult, but like people like me who are actually ugly, like you think if I could put dot of cream and then do this, and they don't even see what I'm doing, but like uncover my face and I'm beautiful again. Like, that's
It
such a
doesn't
dumb.
work like that.
Yeah, that's such a dumb challenge. Like, what do you mean don't judge a book by its cover? Like, that's such.
It's
Where do people think from, man?
so fucking retarded.
Like, that's so stupid. Fucking idiots. Jesus Christ. Who thought that in like, listen, I'm going to revolutionize the world by like kind of showing that I'm super.
Dude, it was that shit went on for months as well.
Like-
You know, sometimes like challenges die out
Yeah.
within the first like week or so. That shit went on for months. You could see clips on Instagram posted every single day for at least a month.
You know what? I feel like I feel like one person did is they went to all of those and they're like, you're still ugly though. Like, why are you doing a challenge?
You are fucking ugly if you do that. Because Jesus, your personality needs a cleaning.
Yeah, like what a ego boost for yourself trying to be like, oh, don't judge me because
Don't judge me because I'm one of the hottest people
Yeah.
alive. Oh.
oh look, I'm ugly now, but now look how beautiful I am. Wow. I think the whole don't judge a book by its cover is like get to know a person. Don't just go from like the facial like
Yeah.
and then but you still make it all about like
Yeah,
superficial look.
don't judge a book by its cover. 'Cause they might be beautiful, but they have zero personality.
It's all about like, you know how when you go to a bookstore you see a very beautiful looking book but the content inside is not right. That's the whole
Yeah.
basis of it. But
And
they're
I
like,
don't understand why we have to explain this. Shit.
yeah, but they're like, nope, we'll just keep it at the superficial level and say don't judge a book by its cover. They put a cover on top of the original cover of the book and they're like, yeah, don't judge it. Look, it's a beautiful underneath. Fucking idiots, stupid people. Jesus Christ.
Then there was, I think the coolest one was the Black Beatles one.
I didn't.
In terms of like, visually appealing. It was so back when the song came out, you know, Black Beatles by Ray Shremmerd.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I do. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
I'll play a song after we're done. But in the beginning, it's like a very slow down tempo piano thing. So during that, everyone's like a statue
Okay.
and they're frozen, and like the camera pans around like an entire room and everything.
Oh, is it the mannequin challenge?
Yeah, the mannequin.
Oh, okay. Then just
Yeah,
say the
that
mannequin
one.
challenge.
Sorry, that one. That's the one.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, that one was the most like. It wasn't harmful to anyone. It was visually appealing because like.
Yeah.
Some people actually like did video editing to make everyone look still while the camera was still moving. Like it was shot like a film.
Yeah, it was. I think that was a very visually appealing challenge to do.
Yeah.
And then, but you see, the thing is like what is dangerous about things like that is people take it to the extreme because like if something's been done, you have to do like put a new twist to it. So they keep taking. It's like the Harlem Shake. Like
But no one did that shit like in fucking weird ass places, man. Like no one put their lives in. No one died because of the Harlem Shake.
no, but like I'm just saying, like the Harlem Shake got weirder and weirder and
Yes.
weirder.
Yeah, it
like,
did.
It just got
You find people in their underwear.
yeah, like it just like it just ended up being something that it wasn't meant to be, and I was like, why? Like, did we do a Harlem Shake? No, we didn't.
I have done
Because you're an idiot.
0.
I've never done a challenge in my life. It's weird because at a point I remember in Aga Khan, I know some people went and did like they were at someone's house and they did the whole cinnamon challenge, and I was like, man, I want to be part of these guys so bad. Like, fuck, they're so cool. Like, they did the cinnamon challenge and they like, I don't know if Snapchat existed at that time or something, but yeah, like they put it up and I was like, fuck, Jesus Christ, they're so cool. Like,
I think it did.
did they? I feel like they put it on Facebook rather than Facebook. Yeah, not Snapchat. Yes, Facebook. They put it on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh," I was like going to comment like, "Thanks for the invite." Yeah, assholes. Yeah, and this is the price you pay for being ugly. No, you don't. Everyone should be loved and accepted, unless
they're doing something unhealthy to themselves.
Not even if they're doing unhealthy, but they're like a lot of weird people, man. Like on Earth, like
the guys who blindfold themselves and walk in the fucking parking lot.
Yeah, just you know what would be funny if you date if you are dating someone and they go like, yo, let's do the bird box challenge, blindfold them and leave. Blindfold them and leave, and just leave them there tied, like super glue it and then leave. Just fucking leave. You don't need that shit in your life. Oh my god.
Yeah, just be like,
let's start a new challenge. If someone asks you, that's the challenge. Blindfold and leave. Yeah. But yeah, I really wanted to be part of challenges, and then I grew old and I just thought it was really stupid. Like, never once in my life have I come across
I really wanted to do the Harlem Shake though.
I didn't really care.
Like a normal one, not like an absurd one.
Yeah.
We did like, my friends and I, we did like
I wasn't there.
No, this was.
Why didn't you invite me?
This was when.
Why didn't you invite me?
Because I didn't know you.
Oh wow! So that's your excuse now.
Yes.
That's your excuse. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So this was when the Harlem Shake started really taking off, and there's this EDM song that had this really heavy drop, and all of my friends loved it. So there was one time, it was the dumbest thing ever. I swear to God. We were all in a school bus. We had gone for a school trip, and it was like 10 of us, maybe 10, 15, not even 15, like 10 of us, literally. And we thought that we'd do this would be our spin on the Harlem Shake,
Okay.
right? And we were all sitting in like specific places in the bus, so it was only us on that bus, and in our own seat, in our own row, and we'd like the song play and everyone's just looking outside the window or doing their own thing, and then when the drop comes, we'd all just bang our heads like that. It was so dumb, but it was so funny. In our heads, we were like, dude, this is the funniest shit we've ever done.
We have a very, like, when you do it, like, you have this very altered perception of the thing you're doing.
But it was very funny.
Yeah.
You laugh. You fucking laugh.
I laughed because I thought you expected me to laugh.
No.
Wait, how long have we gone? Oh, we've gone 1 hour and 2 minutes. I think we've said everything.
I think we've said everything. This is another...
I wanted to talk about Apple. You know, like how their value fell.
Oh, it did. It did, because it's tanking in China.
Yeah, it is. And I like how Tim Cook, the CEO, he's like, oh yeah, because we made replacing parts cheaper, people aren't willing to buy new ones, so that's why they tanked. I was like, what
the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, what type of logic is that? Like,
no, their replacing parts are not cheaper.
No, they are. He literally blamed. He's like, people are fixing their old devices, so they're not buying new ones, and that's why majority of our sales are tanking. Like, there's...
No, the problem with Apple is they make it very difficult to fucking fix their phones.
Yeah, but they changed that last year. Like, I'm telling you,
Did they actually?
Yeah, like, I'm telling you, that's the change they brought in last year. And that's why Tim Cook is saying that that's the reason.
That's some bullshit. If you release a good product, people will buy it regardless. If their phones fucking spoil, regardless of what it costs to buy a replacement part, if the next phone is gonna be outstanding and it's going to be good, people will choose that over buying a replacement part.
I don't know, man. Because I think even last year they're working on like when the new iOS comes out and makes your old phone slower or something.
Yeah.
So they were trying to make it that if you have an old phone, the performance is pretty good.
Yeah.
So they tanked by what, like 3 times what Facebook is worth or something.
$3 million, 3 billion. It was a three something.
It was significant. Yeah, because
It was 3 billion if I'm not wrong.
I think they sold 11.5 million less than they expected, which is an insane number.
Dollars?
No,
Or
like
units?
11 units. Like they sold, like
Hell.
they predicted 11.9 million, 11.5
If
million
you calculate,
more units.
so on average iPhone,
It's like
when you calculate all the sales, is $1,000,
yeah,
right? If you include all the
accessory.
10S's, Maxes, and the fucking 10Rs, on average, the iPhone will go for $1,000.
Yeah.
And if you didn't sell 11.5 million
That's
iPhones, that's 110 million, 1.1 billion, $11 billion in money.
yeah, that
didn't get.
exactly. It's an insane
Fuck.
number. Yeah, it's apparently Tim Cook's hardest. Like it's where he will show his resilience as a CEO, and that's what everyone has.
They have to change.
Even their like stock prices really dropping.
Yeah, no, that's the reason.
Yeah.
Because they're tanking in China. Then to counteract that, they're gonna be building a plant in India.
Yeah.
So that they can make phones in India cheap. Because in India, an iPhone goes for double the price.
Really?
$2,000, but in Indian rupees.
Oh wow.
So you won't go for the premium shit.
That's true.
Whereas in India, the fucking average cost to buy a phone, people buy a phone for $150
I did not know that.
on an average. Because when you have companies like Samsung releasing phones just for the Indian market, where they're dirt cheap, but they're still decent. You can't have a fucking iPhone that goes for $2,000 sell well.
Yeah,
No one's gonna buy that shit.
that's true. Yeah, why would you ever go for something worth
$2,000 when you
10
can get
times
something that's like $500, maybe equal in performance, and you're fine.
Well,
That's the problem with Apple when it comes to competition with other phone companies. Because, okay, in the US, it's Apple dominated because the standard of living is high there. But when you come to these other countries, the standard of living is low. Even in Kenya, you have like companies like Samsung and Alcatel and whatever. All these phone companies, like Samsung being the biggest one, make phones specifically
yeah.
for worse economy or
Yeah, they make cheap phones which are really durable and
Yeah.
work really well.
Yeah. Whereas iPhone doesn't, because they are considered a luxury brand
Yeah.
thing. Speaking of the new meme is that whoever wears AirPods,
Oh yeah, I don't even know where that started from. The whole like, Yeah.
you're a rich motherfucker. Because I mean, AirPods are probably the most pointless. $150, and it looks like 2 tampons are hanging out of your ear.
wow, that's a strong analogy.
It looks like that.
Yeah, and I've never used them. I've never like bothered to see a review on them, so I don't really know anything.
Like if you
about
have, there is like pure wireless earbuds.
Yeah.
Okay, they go
them.
in,
like yeah,
and nothing is hanging out of your ear. Nothing. Okay, but this shit for some reason has things hanging out. For $150, it looks
it's to connect the wire that makes them real here. That's what this was like. How do you where would if they go into your ear? Where would you put the string that makes them into real headphones?
shit.
Like it's just, but yeah, that's a funny meme where, people who have
AirPods are rich as fuck.
yeah, like everyone is just like we're above you because you have AirPods.
Yeah.
That's a funny meme. Yeah. I think we're done.
Yeah. Thank you. Are we done? Yeah.
Do we have anything?
No.
We didn't start beef.
We didn't have. Yeah, we haven't started beef. We'll probably start beef with people who have airports. People who have airports are fucking stupid.
Yeah, you're
There we go.
stupid. Yeah, like, get a life. If you do the bird box challenge, you're also an idiot.
Yeah, if you do any other challenge that potentially puts yourself in danger,
If you
you're the biggest
yeah.
idiot.
If you are one of our friends and you're doing the Sprite and if you hear about us saying, "Oh, look at the Sprite and banana challenge," and the first thought you had is, "Oh, that's so cool, I want to do it," you're a fucking idiot.
Don't talk to us.
Don't talk to us. Jesus Christ, man. Just why do you want to make yourself puke, motherfucker? If you want to do the bird box, I have so much hate. It's fine. It's fine. Let's just end it.
No, let's keep ranting, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like our podcast has just become a mini rant show where we just come here, fucking talk in the morning, and we're just in an annoyed state.
Yeah. We've just woke up. We just realized, all the things are wrong in the world, and we just need to. But it's fine. Like, I feel like we've already told people that they're idiots.
Yeah.
And
come at us, bro.
yeah. And like we said, if your significant other wants to do the bird box challenge,
Just blindfold them and leave.
just go.
Yeah. And then they can be like, fucking Mallory when Tom leaves.
Yeah, and it would be funny if you leave him in a room, and then you hear on the news, man found dead or woman found dead in room because they couldn't find their way out.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because they're blindfolded and they're idiots not to take it off. They think that you leaving them is part of the challenge, so they have to navigate their way out.
Oh, I mean, you can.
And then they trip
Okay, take this room for example, right? There's only so much walking space you have.
Yeah, you trip over something, you hit your head on the floor, you die. I mean, it all works out for everyone. One less idiot on the earth. Wow.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
cool. Bye.
I am jealous of blind people.
Don't make it worse. Just don't.
They don't have to see this dumbass shit.
That's true. Maybe even deaf people because they don't have to hear about it.
But they have to see it, man.
That's true. But yeah. Did you see that
Seeing
article?
is believing.
Did you see that article where there are 10 things deaf people are tired of hearing? I think it was a BuzzFeed article, if I'm not wrong.
100% has to be.
Yeah, and I died.
Yo.
Okay, yeah, let's just end it before we get hate. Okay, bye. See you.